So this project, personally, the imagery of it was inspired by a photo shoot we did last year in Redding, California. And we actually did this photo shoot in daylight, but you never would know because we used a black drop in the shade, and we messed with the white balance enough to make the daylight look blue, which gave it this nighttime rainy look. And we had someone holding the sprinkler. So I've always wanted to do a video set like that using video instead of photography. So Summer, I've always wanted to work with Summer and do a video shoot with her. Timing and everything just didn't seem to work out, and so at this point she ends up letting me know she has this piece done, and I happen to be too busy, but I'm like, man, if I don't make time for this, then it won't ever happen. So kind of just was like, in 2 weeks notice, I told her what my dream was always to do was to film in this kind of a look and to be able to make it happen. And she says, my dad has an area, a land, we could totally do it. We could even bulldoze an area if we need to. You can stay at his place. And I said, okay, cool. So I rented all the camera gears I've always wanted to shoot with for the shoot, and then put together everything that we could, and it ended up happening in 2 weeks. The first challenge was we wanted rain, but the problem is we didn't want it to actually rain. And the reason is because we wanted controlled rain. And so, because we don't know if it's going to rain hard or hard enough for the camera to see, we don't know how it's going to change, if it's suddenly going to stop. So we needed controlled rain, and that caused a whole other dilemma. The other massive problem we had was it's cold. It's in December. You know, granted it's California, but it's still cold. So the dancers could only dance for 20 to 30 seconds sometimes at a time without falling, messing up, or even being too cold to perform. So that was a huge problem, and everyone was like, why didn't you film in the summer? Why didn't you film at this time? Well, the main reason is because of time. We just happened to not have ever time all sync together, everybody can come together and film. And 2 for you.
It's incredibly slippery. So we've put down marley. We're gonna tape it secure so it's marley floats on water. Who knew? So because water's gonna cover all this, so we're gonna try to tape it down so it doesn't float up underneath us.
Basically, I mean, this is probably way before this actual set ever happened, was she had the dance piece was already choreographed and it looked amazing, but we had no story to it. And so kind of working backwards in the sense we're cramming a story into a dance piece. And the reason why I wanted a story was because I felt like it would take it to another level. So it's either going to take it to another level or it's going to make it flop, you know, because the dance is going to look cool. But I kind of felt like, man, we need a little story piece to it, or at least something, kind of intro or something to why he's dancing. And so that was a huge hurdle, kind of working backwards. There was no challenge shooting 4K. I think the difficulty in filming was having only 30 seconds to film them, and then wanting to get like 5 different shots in my head, and having to usually settle with a wide just to cover the bases. Because you could see the frame of the set, and even the pool built if you go too wide, which then if you don't go wide enough, you don't see them doing their amazing jumps. So I think that was the biggest filming hurdle, was I needed more room. I had to use what I had, so I'm leaning on my tights. Now, Larry was the man. I don't think this would have happened without Larry, because Larry and I built up everything, but it wouldn't have happened without Larry. First of all, I'm not mechanically inclined. You know, I'm more of the feel it out, this feels right kind of guy. So without Larry, we wouldn't have done it all. So he helped build things. Even the time when the light broke, he grabbed it in 2 seconds, ran inside, and then fixed it and came back out. So it was just a wiring issue. My goal with this project was to stretch myself in terms. It really was just a stretching project to let the world know what I can do. That's about it.